Okay, so as I'm saying, those networks are firmly established. We know all this. We haven't crossed the Atlantic yet because we just can't get there. And also remember, since I do feel like class, and since you are in my class, even though you're at home and you three are here, ask questions. I can hear you all. So it's time to start being student, teacher, having class. Ah, wrong way. Okay. Oh, look, it's the Middle Ages. From 1095 to the 1200s, the Crusades foster renewed interest in goods from Asia. And we know this. Remember, Rome falls around 500 AD. Western Europe kind of gets all afraid of its own shadow and stays there. But Pope Urban II is going to say, go rescue the Holy Land, and Crusaders go do it. Well, once. And then they try and hold on for dear life. But there's an interest in these goods. And as you all know, you buy from Amazon because it's less expensive, it's more efficient. And remember, fewer hands that touch your goods, the less it costs you. We are trading in the 11th century. It is expensive. It is risky. There are lots of other factors that go into it. And you're a king trying to keep your costs down. You're trying to become the Don of all mercantilism. To keep costs down. And let's just keep it simple. You love asparagus. Going on the limb here. No, cantaloupe. You love cantaloupe. And right now in America, in Raleigh, North Carolina, at grocery stores near my town, my part of town, they are $4 cantaloupe. That's bananas. You're tired of paying $4 a cantaloupe. You're tired of paying 400 ducats for a tub of nutmeg. What can you do?
Go to South America.
Okay, you can go to South America and get them, but what can you do?
Grow your own
To
cantaloupes?
look at the cost of a cantaloupe.
Buy cantaloupe
What, Kate?
on Amazon.
Just grow your own cantaloupes?
Grow your own cantaloupe. What if you can't?
Buy them at the farm and not the grocery store.
Buy them from a farm, not from the grocery store. What?
Or someone else to grow.
What?
Or someone else to grow.
Force someone else to grow your cantaloupes. Okay, we can go become imperial. Okay. What? Or move someplace new. Okay, but you're not going to do moving because that's expensive, and you're not going to be imperialist because I'm sure your HOA won't allow it. Homeowners Association. All right. But if you're a country, I don't want to pay a middleman. I don't want to go to Constantinople or go to somewhere in what is now Turkey and pay somebody to broker the deal. So if I go to the source, it's fewer hands, it's a lower cost. How can I get to Asia more quickly and more inexpensively to get the goods that my people want? Because there's a market. So this is what starts going on in the heads of these people, of these rulers during this time period. And not only that, unfortunately, Mr. Hood here is foreshadowing, and it's going to become even cheaper to just go put your flag down and say, this is now mine. Grow my stuff. But we're not there yet. We're just trying to be all idealistic and find a route. Am I going the right way here? Is it down? It is. Okay. Europeans sought gold, spices, silk, new technologies, and land. Eventually land to grow sugar and coffee. Now, all of this right here, all these goods that I'm circling here that you people at home can't see me circling. Wait. Does it show up on you? It doesn't. Okay. Anyway, all these goods right here on the screen are all Eastern Hemisphere goods. Coffee, except for sugar. Coffee is African, silk is obviously Chinese, spices are Southeast Asian and warmer climes. Gold is all over the place, especially in Africa. Just ask Mansa Musa. Europe's want this stuff, and if they can get it to them more quickly, it costs less, they can buy more of it, and then you as a merchant can become a wealthy European merchant. These, sugar and coffee, need lots of land, and they need specific land. So eventually we're going to need to get land. Oh, just as an aside here, for any of you who fancy yourselves a cook or like to cook, you should only buy spices that you're going to use that day. If you go to places like Whole Foods, or unfortunately, you can buy by the ounce, and because after 6 months, every jar of spices in your pantry needs to be thrown out. But anyway, yep. All right.
Wait. You can't just say that and then move on. I've had spices in my pantry for like 3 years.
And it still tastes fine.
It doesn't taste fine. They lose potency. They
Cinnamon definitely.
It,
happens if it's spicy on top.
I'm getting it. I'm just telling you, for maximum oils and flavors and spices, and especially if you need 6 months. Here's another trick. Pour some out on the counter, and then wake up the next day, and you'll see little tracks through some of it. No, there's stuff in the jar. And then so you're eating ants, which are high in protein, but only good dipped in chocolate. All right. Whatever bug was in the jar. 6 months. All right. And anything that's and spices are different from herbs. Spices are seeds. Mustard, pepper, those are spices. Basil, things like that, those are herbs. All right. So here we are back in the Middle Ages. Cayenne's a seed. Pepper's a seed. It's a corn.
That'd be like
You grind it. Huh?
that'd be like a
Eventually, yeah. All right. So, wait. I just can't go on. Good, you're involved. Europe's population growth meant not everybody could find work or food. Yet another motivation for exploration. And transoceanic interconnections. You've seen two. One was economic. This other one is Hans of the Southern Isles. You're the 12th son. Your father has 50 acres of land, 500 acres of land. By the time it gets to you, you're on a postage stamp. You really can't farm that. So, and there's a term for it, and we're going to get to it. I'll bet you in the next slide. So you go look for a woman desperate to get married, or you go leave and you go find land of your own. Hence Jamestown. Hence Plymouth. All right. And here's our term. Primogeniture. Primogeniture laws meant only oldest sons of wealthy landowners inherited the wealth. Every other son, you're on your own, buddy. So I guess you could go all Shakespearean and kill your brother. Or you could launch out on your own. Nobody. I'm just Shakespeare. Everybody dies in Shakespeare. That's why they're called tragedies.
Well, you're right.
He did, but the tragedies people die. His comedies are my favorite works. All right. Anyway.
Like
No, because they're comedies. But in the tragedies, death. And my favorite tragedies is Macbeth. All right. Questions? No? Okay. Moving on. Hello? Oh, whoa, too far. Okay. Looks like Columbus. It looks like somebody. It looks like Columbus, and then Isabella and Ferdinand, and then there's the priest going, "You're on your own." Okay. Good luck.
Who's the guy?
The vicar. That's like the cardinal, the archbishop. Yep, that's the archbishop. Europeans believed it was their duty to spread Christianity. Oh my gosh, gold, gospel, glory. It doesn't change. And they're competing with the Muslims, with Islam in Southeast Asia, as well as in North and Northwest Africa. Who were the great converters? What countries saw it as their mission to become Spain, the model Catholic country? Yes, thank you. Good King Philip II. We'll all be Catholics, and the world will be better for all Catholics. Which is interesting because the secular equivalent to that would be France, where they think the world would be better if we were all just more French. Okay. So here are our early routes. These are our trade routes. Again, there's your Silk Road, your Indian Ocean Trade Network. Here in blue on that map, and I'll give you a second to look at it. That's your Portuguese, your Portuguese trading routes. They were the first traders. Notice they stay coastal. They make it to India, and then that's pretty much it.
And they set up like forts in Africa.
They set up fort. They're basically like, what are those things called? Flying J's. Yes, there are truck stops down the coast of Africa, and that's what the Portuguese used the forts for. To resupply, to pick up resources, to get what you had to get. The Portuguese were in this for the trade, and they were the first. All right. Question? No? Okay. And again, relax. I am recording. Okay. In the 1500s or 16th century, I'm going to keep doing this over and over again because your DBQs are going to ask you, and yet I just don't want you mixing up your years because that makes your whole answer wrong. They begin establishing forts in the Indian Ocean, in Goa and Calicut. And again, the Europeans are going into places where markets already exist, where there's already competition with Muslim traders, with Chinese traders, with the Persians, whether it be the Safavid or any other of those other empires in our history. So there's competition. So how do you get in? And that's what we're going to look at here in a little bit. And this just shows you the height or the extent of the Portuguese in the Indian Ocean region to Ceylon, which is now Sri Lanka, all the way to Canton. Now in Canton, the Chinese established basically trading zones. This is the part of China you get into. You stay here, goods come to you, you leave. And they had binary, have fun. Marryland, Maryland. All right. And there was a trading season. So it was only open a certain part of the year, and then it closed, and the Portuguese went home. The Omani European rivalry, again, here's Oman. The Omani. Yep. Saw Portugal and Oman compete for these trade routes. And this competition is ultimately going to lead to struggle, maybe a little armed resistance, a little fisticuffs, a dust up, throwing hands, whatever. And the Europeans are like, you know, there's got to be an easier, less pain in the behind way to get to the goods. So they begin looking for alternative routes to India. Got to get to India. Oh, it's only 355 more slides to go. All right. And then that's great. You can read that on your own. Let's move on. Oh, look, Oman. See, he even labeled it for you. All right. Here is England / UK. Very nice. And then there they are in 1550. So something happened between 1492 and 1550. Watch the Ottomans. Boom. Notice that the Portuguese are first, and then the Spanish. And then there's 1660. Notice who changes, who doesn't, and then there's 1754. Oh, hello, Russia. Welcome to the world.
Russia's already used this already.
No, but and then 1822, and then 1885, 1914. Oh, Africa. Thank you. You carve up so nicely. And now you see decolonization taking place here. Or devolution is the other term for it. By 2008, there you go.
Didn't Britain still come from?
What?
2000, they still come from.
No, millennium. 2000 that went on. Eventually, Portugal, Spain, Britain, France, and the Dutch will establish maritime empires. Again, everything, as you people all said, is Anyway, the Africa hat this way. Even Australia comes later, and the guy who found it died there. Okay. But the technology to be that expansive isn't there yet. All right. Not surprisingly, it is Muslims with the technology in the beginning. They combined ancient traditions of sailing with new knowledge and technology acquired from cross-cultural interactions. Cultural diffusion. From the Unit 2 review game, the lateen sail, the magnetic compass, the stern rudder, all those things. See, I'm not crazy. I don't have you do stuff just to do it. Well, maybe, but still, it's all part of a plan. Europe is late. And they're late for a bunch of different reasons, but they reap the benefits of being late to this game. Because the Muslims laid this foundation, the Greeks, the Romans, the Chinese, not yet, but other ancient Indian empires and other Muslim, it's all laid out. So you combine a little bit, you combine with whom you come in contact, and you make improvements. That's all it is improving upon things. Low tide, high tide. That, if you could figure that out, like more than understanding that at some point in the day the tide is low, at some point in the day the tide. But if you could figure it out to the point where you can schedule it, that's going to aid your ability to travel. And who's responsible for it? Anybody know who's this responsible for, like, kind of making sense of this? Well, the moon. Okay, and what does the moon impact? It does impact tides, but what else does the moon impact?
The waves.
Well, okay, true, but what determines that? What? Thank you. Gravity. So who do you think started studying the tides? No, who's a
Isaac
gravity?
Newton.
Yes, it was Newton. Excellent. See, if we were in class, that's more points. Newton's work with gravity led to increased knowledge of the tides. When is it safe to go there? Oh, yeah, high tide is roughly every 6 hours. That's important information. Again, Newton, Renaissance, it's all post-Renaissance, the whole birth of the scientific method. It all builds on itself. Can't make it any clearer. It's there. It's in your heads, too. This is getting there. All right. Lunar tide, solar tide. Is today the last day of meteorological winter? I think today is the last day of real winter, like meteorological winter ends today. I think that's the term. Not calendar winter, but actual winter. Today's the last day. All right. Okay. Edmund Halley's map of the trade winds, 1686. 1686. Somebody finally figures out, wait, certain winds blow in certain directions in certain places. That explains why you can only go one way in the Indian Ocean for one part of the year. I mean, look at the arrows. Look at the winds. If it's 1686, it's as accurate as it could be. Okay, remember, most maps are based on, all maps back then, all maps pre-satellite are based on what you put your feet on and what you laid eyes on.
How do they know exact measurement?
They didn't.
Then how did they get it?
They were lucky guess.
All you
They
got,
like measure
no,
it.
they're just uniform. The squares are uniform. Remember, oh, Mary's not here. All maps lie. Every single map is wrong. Every one of them. Nope. Every two-dimensional map is wrong. Because they're two-dimensional. That's an AP Human Geography thing. Anyway, all right. But they lie to you. That is correct, and that's such a very good point. I will not make note of the fact you spelled incredible. But still, oh wait, I'm sorry. All right, that's an excellent point. Increased knowledge of wind patterns sped up and increased confidence. Okay, if I can measure the wind, and if I know the tides, then I can get from A to B with a greater likelihood of survival. And at the end of the day, losing the crew, that's bad. Losing the spices, that's bad. So the cargo mattered. I mean, this all becomes a moot point after Fulton, but still. The steam engine, Robert Fulton.
Yeah, you can stop.
Oh, well, I figured you knew that. All right.
But I can.
I've been teaching this for 18 years. My degree's in history. I'm 54, and I read encyclopedias because I was that nerdy of a kid. That's how I know that. All right. Own your nerd. Because I'm too old to be a geek if you think about it, because that involves computing. All right. Maps get better. This is actually a better map from the time before this map. Again, you can only base your maps upon what you see. When the first people landed on the Outer Banks, they thought the water on the other side of the Outer Banks was the Pacific Ocean because they couldn't see the coast. They couldn't see the
I thought it like you could see the other things.
parts of it. And also, waters have risen and decreased. But when they first set foot, because when they immediately got off, they didn't walk across the Outer Banks. So when they landed, they thought that water was the ocean. All right. Eventually, they figured it out. It doesn't take long to figure that out. Look, that's the Americas. That's South America. Because that's all they know. It's pretty much the west side. That's like the Pacific Ocean to the Andes. That's all they know. I need to wait. Wait. Oh. No. Dang it. I was hoping my thing with my stylus would work. All right. It works if I like screencastify or lecture, like pull up the notes, it works. Okay. Improved cartography. That's a fancy word for map making. Cart is map, graph is to write. And astronomical charts. Map to the stars, plus getting things like the sextant and the trident, all those tools help with navigation. You know, because if there's a place you got to go, it helps to have a map. Anyway, all right. And here, oh, look, there it is. Greatest invention in the history of mankind, sitting right there in front of you. Because, okay, if a man is $1 an hour, a woman is 50 cents an hour, a kid's a quarter. Or that's when we get more industrial. Or a better question, actually, that's just a short dude.
I'm not saying that.
That's just a short dude. But if it was a child, why might there be children working in a print shop in the 15th century? Close. Or no. Why did children? No, that's much more of an industrial revolution. Why would your child be working with adults?
As an apprentice?
As an apprentice. Yes, apprenticeships. Thank you, Mr. Sheehan. All right. Thank you for playing. Am I going the wrong way again? I did. Down. Okay, whoops. Printing press invented in Germany by our man Jonas Gutenberg. Again, movable type is Chinese. Taking that type, setting it up, and printing things down in rapid fashion, German. Why? Well, they say it's not a stereotype if it's true, because it's efficient. And that's Germany. All right. Again, the more you print it, the less it costs. The less it costs, the more people get it in their hands. The more people get it in their hands, the cheaper your goods. All right. Ooh, the astrolabe, developed by Muslim traders in the 1100s, helped sailors determine distance north or south of the equator. Don't ask me how. I don't know. I'm assuming it measures horizon.
The height of the sun.
There you go. Measures horizon, height of the sun at noon, to our
But when it's you usually have the North Star,
North Star.
where they discovered when like something big where you couldn't see the North Star, so we had to measure the sun.
All right. So here's what was just said. North of the equator, you would follow the North Star. When they went south of the equator, they realized you couldn't see the North Star. So, hey, the sun will work. That's a big star. Although, I wonder if they knew that then. I'm going to go with no.
I always thought it was the center of the year.
Well, that's way back when. By now, Galileo was about to be excommunicated.
They didn't know the existence of galaxies and like they probably thought the stars still circled around them.
Magnetic, or they're just holes in the sky, way back when. The magnetic compass, the Chinese invented to help sailors, and now, because of technology, it's on your phone. In fact, you can even download an app telling you which way to face Mecca if you're Muslim, so that you can, when you're called to prayer. I've said this before, during certain planning periods, because I have rugs in my room, I've had Muslims ask to use my room.
You have to sit on a rug.
A prayer rug?
Oh, you have to.
No, but it's a rug. They could face Mecca, and I allowed them to pray without people making a big deal about it because they're Muslims. Oh,
Yeah, we're
not well. Depends who you ask. All right, nothing.
yeah.
If you ask me. All right. And again, another. This is from 1202, and this is them figuring out. Just leave them right there. Thank you. And again, unlike Captain Jack Sparrow Skellington, Jack Sparrow Skellington, there is a mashup of two movies. Unlike Captain Jack Sparrow's compass, it always goes north, not towards what you most desire. All right,
Unless there's another magnetic field.
stop it. Yes, I know Stranger Things. Look, anyway, you guys need to learn how to work your compasses. All right. Okay, sails. The triangular shape or lateen sail, also an Arab invention. Allowed for faster tacking, changing to catch the wind. That's important. Just saying. Oh, sorry, hold on. Well, I'm recording, so if you don't get it, you can go back and get it. All right. The triangular shaped lateen sail, we talked about that. 3 different types of ships, the caravel, carrack, and the flute. 15th, 15th, and 16th centuries. Caravel, Portuguese ship used to explore West Africa with seeing sail. Most famous example, Columbus's ships. Carrack, ocean-going caravels with 3 to 4 masts. Most famous example, the Santa Maria. And then the flute, a 16th century Dutch cargo ship that could carry twice the cargo for half the price and half the crew. The Dutch knew what they were doing when it came to business.
Which one's the biggest?
Carrack, 4 masts. They carried half of all European sea trade, and it doesn't matter how much it is. The fact is, that one little country carried half of it. The Dutch were beasts. The Dutch are also an example of the first ever market crash. What was it? Anybody know? Tulips. Yes. They over-speculated on the value of tulips. There was a crash in tulips. And so there was a huge tulip depression. 1600, 1700, 1600.
Oh, what? They wanted tulips.
That's who grows them, man. The Dutch, tulips, wooden shoes, windmills, the Dutch.
Oh,
An excellent, total football that never wins.
I thought like the Dutch was like pastries and kind of.
Now, the Dutch is Legos now. No, that's Danish.
Ah,
I'm not into Legos.
What?
Excuse me?
All right, anyway. Again, new ships, carracks, caravels, flutes for more efficient, faster, more cargo, safer. Also, fact. I'll reserve judgment on fun. Fact. The first thing North Carolina provided as far as an exporting resource to England. Anybody? Tar and trees for masts. Because if you go to England now, not heavily forested. Ireland, much less so. North Carolina is called, well, Raleigh is the city of oaks. We have friends who came over here from England and Scotland and taught for 3 years and became friends with them. And they marvel at the amount of trees in a city.
Is there like a law that forces you to put as many trees as possible?
Probably you can't mandate that. Never mind. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. As long as it's not a pine tree, plant all the trees you want. Okay. But we provided tar, hence the Tar Heel State. We provided lumber and wood and other things to help them with their shipbuilding because everything back then is made of wood. All right. Flute, caravel. There you go. Carrack. So your flute is the largest. Also, the flags are a giveaway. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was like turbo,
Right.
flute. It's all like back.
Yep. All right. So there you go. Right. Can't have a gunpowder empire without gunpowder. This just in. Okay. Gunpowder weapons invented in China. Wow, really? Chinese and Muslims. Thank you. Probably Chinese. Small, little single-shot cannons.
Oh. Are those guns?
Huh?
Are those
No,
guns?
they were mounted. They were like this big.
Yeah.
But they were on a boat. Anyway,
They're on a boat. They're on a boat?
little tiny boats.
Oh, like this big boat?
Oh, I don't know. Look, I don't. My examples aren't to scale. All right. I got to go with probably not a globe on top deck. This just in. The combination of knowledge and technologies from throughout Afro-Eurasia. Again, this is that sharing of information, that interconnectedness from a landmass state allows for global trade to be dominated by Europeans. Now, with a little work and a little thought and a little just kind of review, you can answer or you can begin to put together answers and thoughts as to why not the Ottomans, the Safavids, the Mughals, the Chinese. Why not the Russians? Why is it? It's the Europeans. Because if this is the why, then naturally you have to have a why not. Why not the others? If you're going to compare, why are they allowed to do it, or why were they able to be successful, and why weren't the Ottomans successful? Why wasn't Russia successful? What is it about their political makeup, their social makeup? I'm being hypothetical. I'm being just rhetorical right now. The makeup of these, what is it about the makeup of empires that puts them at a disadvantage vice just a country? Like, these are rhetorical questions. So you can begin to see, and you can, as to why it works this way.
Is it because, like,
It's really just rhetorical. Yeah, go ahead.
it's because Europe has like tons of islands as well, like the South Beach in between, like, and like
What Europe has 5 islands.
yeah, but like all of it's on the edge too, and they have the small peninsula that has like you can reach all the sides pretty.
Oh, okay. So that geography true, but the points I was making, and we'll stop there today. The point I was making was talking about remember, by definition, and someone asked this question, and it's in the Jamboard, and that's why I know. What's the difference between a dynasty and an empire? I answered it, but
They're the
it's
same thing.
They're not the same thing.
Well, that actually has to be like that.
Dynasty is tied to the family. Empire is the size of the land.
Well, what would be empire would be, I think, ruled by emperor.
Yes, but that emperor could be a dynasty if it's a family in charge. But but empire deals with the size of the land under occupation. And if we're talking about empires, think of Rome. If you have vast lands that you are ruling, and again, I'm being rhetorical just to get you thinking, what are the challenges of ruling an empire that make this less likely? And that's where we'll stop. So we'll pick up Tuesday with 4.2, which is causes and events. So we'll pick up with 4.2 on Tuesday. Thank you all. Continue to work. Enjoy your day. We'll do a little DBQ life tomorrow. Monday, sorry. I wish it was tomorrow. And I'll see you then. And I will edit this and post this on my channel. And I'll get the other stuff that I happen to record and post it for review. And I'll get confirmation about next Wednesday. Otherwise, Group C, I look forward to it. Cohort A, I look forward to it. Group C, I enjoyed this. Have a great weekend, and I will see you Monday.